And you're back with us here on Community Spotlight. Our guest is Michelle Leach. She is a Pilates expert and here to talk a little bit about how to get involved with this great sport. I call it a sport, but it's kind of like a fitness activity, I guess, would you call it?
I mean, I like the concept of sport, actually, because, you know, in sports, you have a goal, and you're trying to reach that goal, but you always want to be better. And with Pilates, there's no plateau. You never get to a point where you know everything, you're perfect. You're always trying to be better. There's always something you can tweak. You're trying to get faster. You're trying to get quicker. You're trying to get more precise. So I like that it's a sport, yeah.
It sounds like it's multifaceted. Like it's not just perfecting the form. You're working on so many different aspects of the exercise.
Yeah, Joseph Pilates, it was originally called the art of control, or contrology. And control is one of the principles. Control, centering, conditioning, breathing, flow, precision. So, you know, his idea was to make the body as functional and perfect as possible. So it is multifaceted, as you say, yeah.
Of those facets that you just mentioned, flow being one of them, what are some of the ones that are easier to grasp at the beginner level and some of the ones that are a little bit tougher to kind of incorporate into the exercise?
That's such a good question. I think concentration is really hard because I feel we're so used to moving mindlessly. You know, we get on the treadmill, we're trying to think of something else we can do while we're on the treadmill or we're on the bike. And Pilates is the kind of exercise that you have to concentrate because you're using a lot of your mind to focus on the particular body part you want to work. So I think concentration is probably the hardest thing for people because they're just not used to it.
Tell us a little bit about your website, Michelle. First of all, the name of it.
No Excuses Pilates. Thank you so much for bringing that up.
Sure thing.
It's called noexcusespilates.com, and the name comes from pretty much making sure that people have no excuses for not working out. I've made this DVD specifically because I don't want to hear you have no time. It's like you can find 30 minutes, you know, maybe don't watch Modern Family tonight, you know, or if you can't do 30 minutes, you have 15 minutes, so maybe wake up an extra 15 minutes in the morning, you know, so there's no excuses. You can't say you broke your ankle, you have a knee injury because it's all done on the floor, so it takes the weight out of the joints. So anyone can do it. There's no excuses, no matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, no matter if you're not feeling well. I don't want to hear it. Put the DVD in and do it.
And if hearing this from Michelle just once isn't enough, the DVD really takes hold of you, motivates you, and inspires you. And we want to show you the trailer that Michelle was kind enough to bring along with her to give you an idea of what the DVD is all about. Let's take a look.
Okay, great.
I discovered Pilates over a decade ago through a close friend. Frustrated by countless hours at the gym with little results, I tried Pilates and was immediately hooked. Pilates changed my body and my lifestyle. Pilates concentrates on your core, isolating specific muscle groups, making Pilates a quick and efficient workout. I created this video to help you keep exercise on your to-do list, even on your busiest days. With No Excuses Pilates, you can have the body you desire, even with only 10 minutes a day. Pilates is for everyone, so what are you waiting for? No excuses, you can do this.
I think you've done the job. You have marketed and sold the concept, and I'm sure that just in that 30 to 40 second brief trailer, people are now motivated to get up and go do it.
I really hope so. It's so good for you. And I promise you, after you do it, I've never had anyone say to me, that sucked. I feel terrible. Like, you might not like it as you're doing it, but afterwards you just feel really, really good. There's something about getting the blood flowing and the breathing and the energy that afterwards you just, it's like a pick-me-up. It's better than coffee.
Absolutely. So it's one form of exercise where endorphins come into play.
Absolutely.
You definitely feel the good effects of that.
Absolutely. And there's something about working through a challenge. So you will find it challenging. I'm not going to lie to you. There's places where you might want to just stop for a second. But when you get stronger and you work through that, you're just going to feel so great about yourself. Such a sense of accomplishment.
Well, we've talked about the website, noexcuses.com.
No Excuses Pilates. Don't forget the
Pilates.
Pilates.
Noexcusespilates.com. Okay, now we're definitely sure to get that across. And then also the DVD. What about here locally, Michelle? Because folks find you probably personable and are thinking, she would be a good instructor for me to dive into something new and not feel like a fish out of water.
Yes, and I promise you, if you come to one of my classes, you're gonna have a good time. I crack jokes. I think I'm funny. Some people might not, but I try and keep it very light. I teach a great range of classes, so at Lehigh Valley Yoga, which is not far from here actually, it's on Union Boulevard, I teach hot Pilates. So if you like to sweat, if you like the heat, and I must say this time of year it feels really good.
I'll bet.
That is just Pilates done in a heated room. They have hot yoga there as well. I also teach in Easton at Lift Easton. South 2nd Street, and that's a mat class for anyone to come if they want to try it. That's pretty beginner. I also teach at Williams Township, and I teach at Pilates of the Lehigh Valley. Now at Pilates at the Lehigh Valley, I do the apparatus work, or the machine work. And that's fun because it has the springs, it has the reformer, it has the Cadillac, and it just kind of, I like to say it's the crayon box. It's like where you can go in and play with, if you kind of feel that you've mastered Pilates, or if you really want to challenge, or what the springs also offer is the resistance kind of helps you to work through the exercises.
I see. And for a beginner, would you start out with the mat Pilates perhaps? Would that be the way to go?
Either or. The mat work is the foundation for Joseph Pilates, but if you're a beginner to advanced, you can do any of them.
Fantastic.
So it's really your preference,
Michelle N. Leach is our guest, talking about noexcusespilates.com and the new DVD that she is promoting. We'll also talk about Pilates itself and in its history, how it's had a bit of a transformation, and we'll talk a little bit about that right after this on Community Spotlight.